everybody, this is Mrs. Haynes and welcome to second grade math. I really missed you guys this week, and so I'm going to try and explain some of the stuff that we did do in class, that we usually do in class right now on this video. And since y'all couldn't be with me, I brought these little friends along so that they can watch math and learn some things too. Let's get started. I'm going to take my camera and point it at the table. You're welcome to have your Math A worksheets with you, or if you want to just watch this video and pay attention, that's fine too. So we'll start with the word problem. There are 124 children in grade 1, 147 children in grade 2, and 119 children in grade 3. Which grade has the most children? 124, 147, 119, and the answer is 147. Now we have to choose between the fewest. 124, 119. We're going to choose 119. And then we have to write the names of the grades. And this one's tricky. You really have to read the problem because they want to know the grades, not the number of students. So the most children, and they want us to start with the most and go to the least. So the most of 147 was in grade 2. The fewest children was in grade 3. So the one in the middle is going to be grade 1. I'm excited that grade 2 had the most. Okay. The next problem says, I have 4 dimes, 3 nickels, and 7 pennies. Draw the coins. How much money do I have? It's always good to write the coins in order from the ones that are worth the most to the ones that are worth the least. So we have dimes first. So I'm going to make 4 dimes, and then 3 nickels, and then 7 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wrote kind of small because I really wanted to count up in a row. So we're going to count the money, and every time we add it, we'll add a coin every time. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. And we'll write it the way we've been writing it for a long time. And then our new way is we make the dollar sign. And since it's less than $1, we have $0. The decimal point means the word and, 62 cents. It's super important when you use the dollar sign and the decimal point that you don't put a cent sign next to it. Okay, now they want us to measure each side of the rectangle and using centimeters and then find the perimeter. And remember, perimeter is all the way around. So if I started here, it would be the distance all the way around. We did a worksheet about that last week. So I'm going to measure, and centimeters, remember, you always use the small, the numbers that are small, that have a smaller space. So it looks like from there to there is 2 centimeters. So I'm going to write it right there. And I know that's going to be the same, so I'm not even going to measure it. Okay. Then I'm going to measure this one. And it's 8 centimeters. I know it's going to be that on the top too. Okay, so our number sentence is going to be P for perimeter equal 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 8. Those are easy numbers because 2 plus 8 is 10, and this 2 plus 8 is 10, so we can make tens. And the answer is going to be 20. So it's 20, and you have to put units. And what the good news is, we don't have to write the whole word centimeter because it's abbreviated CM. So I'm going to underline the C and the M to remind us about the abbreviation. Okay. Next, fill in the number to make each number sentence true. So remember, the arrow always points to the smaller number. And the way you read it left to right, so it's something is less than 6. You can choose any number you want, One of my favorite numbers is 3, so I'm going to choose that one. But you could have chosen 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, reading from left to right, the arrow points to the smaller number, so 13 is less than a number. And I know you guys like really big numbers, and I do too, so I'm going to choose 148. Okay, 4 plus 7 equals 7 plus 4. Well, the great thing about addition is you can flip the order and it doesn't matter. So we don't even have to figure out the answer. We just know that if you're adding a number to 7 and you want it to be 4 plus 7 and you want it to be 7 plus a number, that also has to be 4. I wish we were here so we could vote on our favorite ice cream colors, flavors like we do in class, but we're not. So it says the children in Miss Quinn's class made the following graph. Write something you know about the children. One thing we know is chocolate was the favorite for most children. Chocolate is the favorite for the most children. Also, from the graph, we can see how many students are in her class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 children in the class. Okay. I'm not going to practice the adding because we've done that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to subtracting because we just started working on that a couple weeks ago. So 86 minus 27. We have 6 ones and we have to take away 7 ones. We don't have enough ones to do it. So we're going to take one of our 10s away. So instead of having 8 10s, we're only going to have 7 10s. And we're going to trade it in for 10 ones. So instead of scribbling out the 6 and writing 16, I'm just going to put a teeny tiny 1 there. And I know that it's 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay? Now we'll do our last subtraction problem and then we'll move on to the next thing. So 98 minus 35, we do the ones first. 8 minus 5, 8 ones minus 5 ones. We can do that, so we don't need to borrow any from the 10s. And then 9 minus 3 is 6. And that's the end of the first lesson. I know a lot of you really, really like doing multiplication, and we're going to learn a new set of multiplication today. And that's the idea. You'll notice, I want you to look at these numbers and see what all of them have in common. They all have times 2, don't they? You see that? And since the only thing multiplication means is you add the same thing over and over again, the cool thing is whenever you see a number times 2, all you have to do is double the number that's not 2. So 6 times 2 is the same as 6 doubled, which is 12. 1 times 2 is the same as 1 doubled. 1 plus 1 is 2. 9 times 2 is the same as 9 doubled, and 9 doubled is 18. 4 times 2 is the same as 4 doubled, which is 8. 7 times 2 is the same as 7 doubled, which is 14. And you'll have to do this whole worksheet later, but you can do that on your own. Okay. So I think everybody knows what dozen means. So if you know it, I want you to whisper it. Hopefully you said 12. There were a dozen children in the pool. How many children were in the pool? A half dozen children left the pool. Well, a half dozen, basically we take the number 12 and we split it into 2 equal groups, and that's going to be 6. And then the number of children left in the pool is all the kids were in the pool at the beginning, and 6 left, and 12 minus 6 is 6. So 6 children. We've done quarters and perimeters before, so I'm going to skip those, but I want you to work them at home. And then we're going to look at shapes. You guys are really good at shapes, so I'm not too worried about this, but we'll go over it just to be sure. And these are hard words to read. So it's pyramid, cylinder, and sphere. And a pyramid is basically just, it almost looks like a cone, except for instead of a circle at the bottom, it has a different kind of shape at the bottom. So this is a pyramid, and so we're supposed to color it red. I don't see any more pyramids. Color, and there's actually, because there's no S's on these, we know there's only one of each. A cylinder is like a can of something, like a can of Coke, or a water bottle, or a soda. Well, I already said that, but anyway. Oops, that was supposed to be blue. Okay, and then the sphere is colored yellow. And a sphere is just a word for a ball. Okay. And we've already been over how to do all these, so I'll let you work those with your parents. But I do want to kind of practice these because I know these are kind of tricky. So we look for all of the ones that can make tens if we can. There aren't very many on this one. The 9 and the 1 make 10. And the 4 and the 6 make 10. And that leaves us with the 3 and the 2 and the 5. Okay, so it's 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. 23 plus 2 is 25. 25 plus 5 is 30. Okay. Last lesson. And again, I only want to kind of focus on all the stuff that's pretty new. So we're not going to work all of them in here. That way you don't have to watch the video for so long. So we've done a lot of these money problems, so we'll skip that one for now. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Least means smallest, greatest means biggest. So I'm going to look, so I have some 100s numbers, some 200s numbers, and some 300s numbers. So I'm going to look at the hundreds numbers first. I have these two. The 176 is smaller, so I'm going to do it first. And now I'm done with it. And then the 181. I'm done with it. Now I'm going to look at all the 200s numbers. I have 284, 279. So that one's smaller, so I'm going to write it down next. And that one was my bigger 200. And I only have one number left, and it's in the 300s, so it's going to be last. Okay. Circle the letters that have parallel line segments. So this is one of those ones where you got to know what the word means. So, and we've talked about this before, and we found different things in the classroom that were parallel. And if you want, you can look around and see if you see any things in your house that are parallel. But what it means is, if two lines are going the same direction, and if you extended those lines forever and ever, they would never, ever, ever cross. So let's look at these. The A doesn't have anything that if you made the lines go on, they would never cross. So not that one. E, we have 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines. Those are parallel, so I'm going to circle it. L doesn't have any parallel lines. M, this line and this line are parallel, so I'm going to circle it. V doesn't have any, so I'm not going to circle it. And Z, at first it doesn't seem like it, but then you realize that that one's horizontal and that one's horizontal. So we'll circle it. And we talked about our 2 times table, so I'm just going to do a couple of these. 2 times 4, so since one of the numbers is 2, all I have to do is double the other number. And 4 doubled is 8. I want to show you what to do if it's 2 times 2. In that case, Since one of them's 2, the other number's 2, so you can just double 2 and get 4. Okay. This last one is kind of a new concept, so I want to spend a little bit of time on it. Calvin has 4 markers. Draw the markers. One marker is red. Color that marker. Now comes the tricky part. What fractional part of the markers is red? So we're going to make a fraction bar because they said the word fractional. Now the bottom part is how many are in the whole group. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 in the whole group. And then the top number is whatever they're specifically asking for. So in this case, they're specifically asking for red. So I put 1 up there. Okay? And then we'll do the last problems. Find the answers. 52 plus 39 plus 48. Okay, this one's tricky, so we definitely are going to have to write this one up and down. And it's super important to make sure that you put the 1s under the 1s and the 10s under the 10s. And I like to leave a little bit of space between my 1s and my 10s so everything doesn't get all squished together. And the adding tends to get kind of hard on these, so you just want to go slow. 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay. Next we're going to do 7 plus 36. What makes this one tricky? The numbers are way easier than this one, but notice that the 7 is in the 1's place. So when I write my 36, I have to be sure and write my 7 under the 6 and not under the 3, because it has to be under the 1's place. Okay? And we just leave this blank because there are no 10s in 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. So the answer is 43. Okay, we'll do these last 2 and then we'll be done. So it's subtraction, and since they're big numbers, we have to write them up and down. 1s under 1s, 10s under 10s. We have 1 1 and we have to take away 4 1s. We can't do it because we don't have enough. So we're going to trade in one of our 10s for 10 1s. Now we have 11 minus 4, that's 7, and 2 minus 1 is 1, so the answer is 17. Last problem of the day. (74 minus 43). 4 minus 3, we have 4 1s, we need to take away 3 1s. So we do have enough, so there's no need to take any away from the 10s. And then 7 minus 4 is 3. And that's the end. So let's see if all of my stuffed animal friends were paying attention. Looks like they're all still awake. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm really proud of you for how hard you're working and how much you're helping around the house and all the things that you're doing. And I hope to talk to everybody again next week. Have a wonderful day. Bye.